So last week we posted up this interesting things that we found about Dan Elliott, and it goes, so what is really going on here? Indiana State Treasurer Dan Elliott pays Ascent Strategies for campaign help. This year, 42,000 worth of expenditures go to Amplify Public Affairs. The main people that run Ascent are the main people that run Amplify. Interesting. They are the public affairs portion of Ascent Strategies. Dan Elliott giving tax money to the people that helped run his campaign for something. So there were a couple of people that commented and retweeted and said, are we sure this is actually happening? Well, yeah, it is happening. And I'm here to give you all the proof. So what we found this little thing. It ends up being kind of a big thing. And on the Indiana Transparency Portal, now there's a way to see the expenditures for each office, which is actually kind of cool. But let me show you how to do it. We're going to do this all in real time. You can type in Indiana Vendor, and then there's the Indiana Vendors. You just click on the Indiana Transparency Portal for vendors. On here, you'll see the State of Indiana Vendors Summary of 2026. And right here, the top vendors, Anthem Insurance Company is getting $39.9 million. Indiana State Pension, 38.1. And you can see E&B Paving getting 35.6 with 154 invoices. Yeah, some connection, a little bit of connection. We're searching on that right now. But here's the most important part. On the bottom, let me delete myself real quick. On the bottom right here, you'll see agency summary page, and that's what you want to click on. After that, you can pick out which agency that you want to. For today's video, we're going to do Treasury of State. Click on Treasury of State, and you'll see the expenditures by funding source, by state dedicated, by the general fund. And what you want to do is you want to click on function detail right here, because it'll show the expenditures by function of government. And after that, you see a bunch of stuff that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. You want to click on vendor detail, because under vendor detail, you will be able to see all the vendors and how much money that were spent with them. I mean, you can look, less than $70 were spent with Barada Associates for the fiscal year of 2025. Now you can go down here and, we're kind of paying attention to data mark development. Right here is Amplify Public Affairs. There is Heather Vaught with $41.7 thousand. You can see the Indiana State Pension for $37.5 million. Funny thing that we noticed, the Treasurer's Office has a bigger budget every year since 2023, 26.5, 38.4, 39.1. So they are spending more money, and I imagine that it has to do with the pensions and, maybe just cost of everything else. But for this video, I wanted to focus on Amplify Public Affairs. And why do we want to focus on that? Because when you click on the Indiana Campaign Finance website, you will see Ascent Strategic, and there are 3 people that gave money to them. They are Evan for Indiana, Dan Elliott, and Rob Miller. I'm going to talk about Evan for Indiana and Rob Miller here in a second. But as you can see, Dan Elliott gave them thousands and thousands of dollars over the last few years. Particularly in 2024. On 2050, yeah. Or since 20. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's look at the date. Let's right there. So since 2023 has been giving them a lot of money. Now this is where it gets really interesting. In 2025 fiscal year, you could see, but even before that, there was nothing. But there were $42,500 with 5 invoices through Amplify Public Affairs. Now, who was Ascent Strategies? Who are the money that Dan Elliott was giving them to? Right here, Ascent Strategic. You got, these are the team right here. Then obviously they're more right-leaning or more Republican, mind you. But this is where it gets really clever. You click on services, and then you scroll down to the bottom. You can see they offer a lot of things: digital mail, public affairs, telephone services, and research. This is what I thought was really fun. Fun as in, I have really never seen it before. Their digital mail is under Conversion Creative. Their public affairs, Amplify Public Affairs. Their telephone, Engagement Strategies. Their research, Pivotal Research. So you have Ascent Strategic, and then under that, depending on what you wanted to do, is name something different. This is where things get difficult for people like me to find, because you're not thinking that you're looking for Ascent. or Amplify, you're looking for Ascent, but Amplify is Ascent. Thought that was very clever on their part. So let's talk about Rob Miller and then Evan for Indiana. So Rob Miller tried the primary Larissa Sweet. Uh, I mean, in my opinion, Larissa Sweet is much more grassroots and based. I don't know who Rob Miller is, but if you're getting help from the people for Ascent Strategic, and by the way, this is I'm not picking on Ascent because I don't like them. I just plain old don't like them. I'm just pointing out that it just seems very scummy and very questionable, very eyebrow raising that the people that you gave money to help run your campaign for to look like, you're also giving them $42,000 of taxpayer money for something. Because the reason why I say for something, I don't know where you could find out what you actually did because there's no contract. It was just, I gave you X amount of money for something. That's what I don't like about this right here. And it wasn't just them, by the way. I'm not picking on them just because I don't like them, because there's this Heather Vaught, $41,000 through invoice process. Initial research shows that it is Heather Vaught of Government Solutions Group. I can't find any real connection between them and Dan Elliott. We'll keep on searching. But, there's other things. There's things through the LG's office and obviously things through Diego's office that we're still looking through and finding out, like, why did you get tens of $1,000 contract for that? I mean, obviously Raju's contract is very questionable, but there's other people. It's not just them. There are dozens of other expenditures that we're still trying to figure out. Is like, why is taxpayer money being spent on it? We want to know. There should be some kind of rule, especially in the transparency portal, unless we're missing it, where it shows like we spent this much money with them because of this. And I don't even care if it's $101. I want to know what they did. All right, so Rob Miller tried to primary Larissa Sweet, and then we ended up finding out this Evan for Indiana was Evan McMullen, who tried to primary Mike Gaskell back in 2022. Didn't spend a whole lot of money. Rob Miller, just from Ballotpedia, shows they got just under $30,000 of contributions in contributions for Evan McMullen, just under $20,000. So didn't spend a whole lot of money to primary them. Moving on, there's one more questionable thing that I want to talk about, though. The semi-annual report came out a few weeks ago, and if you click on it, you can see everything that Dan Elliott spent on. And normally I wouldn't care what people are spending their campaign donations on unless it has something to do with what they're doing that's being paid by taxpayer dollars. And this one's kind of no different. Now, if there was one particular name, Taylor Bryant, and it shows in direct purpose, why can't the Indiana Transparency Portal do something like this? Campaign Management Services, right here for Taylor Bryant. Now, if you look at the staff for the Treasurer of State, as you can see right there, it shows right there, Taylor Bryant as the legislative director. Probably that person. It does seem very weird that the person that you just gave $10,000 for campaign help is also your legislative director. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, Taylor, if that is the true Taylor Bryant, she was getting money through her campaign, or through Dan Elliott's campaign, but then she's also getting paid $75,000 as for taxpayer money. But is she doing that the entire time, or is she splitting up duties? This is what I mean, though. This is where you guys have to maybe have a line in the sand, or be okay with some things, but not okay with other things. That this wasn't just, $10,000 one time. This was also thousands of dollars since 2022, 2021. Oh, well, she gave contributions. Oh, that's interesting. I just found this out now. Hold on, let me move this up. Delete that. Or delete. That Dan Elliott received $1,500 from what it looks like. Oh, no, they zeroed it out. All right, they zeroed it out. Good. This is how we do it in real time. But since 2021, it looks like Dan Elliott has been giving her money for campaign help, from what it looks like. But then what? She gets a job as a legislative director, is now making not only got $10,000 from Dan Elliott for a campaign, but also making $75,000. And when I go to Gov salaries to see if she was getting paid before that, it shows $29,000 in 2024. So maybe she was only working half the year in 2024. Who knows? And I know some of you guys were like, well, you know what? You're picking straws. Is it too petty? And I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't know where some of you draw the line, but when I see someone getting paid $10,000 from this year for campaign help, but then they also have a job as a legislative director if for the same person, I start asking questions. And then you throw the amplify part on top of that. I don't like any of it. That's just my personal opinion, though. Tell me what you think in the comments. Until next time.